So I finally did my first playthrough of Lords of the Fallen, and luckily for me it was version 2.0, which everyone is praising at the moment. And after beating the game, I can tell you it definitely deserves that praise because I had a blast with this game. In this review, I'm going to talk about the things I loved, the things that I felt were a mixed bag, and the things I didn't like. Starting with the things I loved, my number one has to go to the level design, which is nothing short of phenomenal. I do not know if Lords of the Fallen was the first game to ever come up with this idea, but the fact that you have basically two worlds in the same place made this an incredible experience where exploring every inch of the map became a must. While traversing the normal world, there will be places or items you won't be able to reach or traverse, so going into the Umbral world is something mandatory if you want to make progress, and I felt like I was Sherlock Holmes using my lamp everywhere, like I was solving a massive puzzle. Something I also love about the levels were their variety, enemy placement, and overall atmosphere. The second thing I love about Lords of the Fallen was its difficulty. The game starts a bit too easy, but as soon as you reach the Hush Saint boss, things starts escalating, and beating this game was a very nice challenge. The mini bosses are a bit on the easy side, but the main bosses gave me some work, and overall I had a blast playing this game. The third thing I loved was something I didn't expect, because every time I saw a YouTube video from this game I wasn't impressed with the graphics at all, but after playing it I am very happy to say this game is crazy beautiful to watch. I had many moments where I stopped in awe to admire its beautiful architecture, and those two final bosses had some of the most incredible arenas and visuals I've ever seen in a video game. Something I also enjoyed quite a bit was the soundtrack. I only listened to the soundtrack after finishing the game because of the fact I was streaming and I wanted people to listen to my voice, but I can say that I had a great time listening to every track on YouTube, especially Pieta and Judge Cleric, and I can't wait to fight them again, this time with the sound at a very high volume. It's time for the things I found it to be a mixed bag, and I have to start with combat and weapons. Even though there is a big variety of weapons, every time I tried any type of sword, axe or hammer, it seemed like the moveset was always the same. As for the combat, the game moves very smoothly and it's great fun, but I simply couldn't understand the soulfly mechanic. Sometimes I would stay in front of an enemy with a blue health bar only to try over and over to pull his soul, and sometimes it would work right away, others it would take forever, resulting in unnecessary deaths. I spent the entire game basically killing myself by going to Umbral to kill the blue flying thing around the enemies with a blue health bar, and honestly I don't even know if that was necessary. The biggest example of how this felt confusing to me was the boss Tancred, Master of Castigations, where I kept killing myself before entering the boss arena because he had a blue health bar, only to later forgetting to go into Umbral and realizing I could actually kill him without using any soulfly at all and simply attack him. Another mixed bag for me were the bosses. I found close to 30 bosses in the game, and even though the main bosses are pretty cool, the mini bosses were mostly just enemies with a health bar with very small movesets that would go down first try with very little effort. It's time to talk about the bad things, and my biggest problem with this game has to be the fact that after you kill a boss, 2 minutes later many of them will appear right away in front of you as normal enemies. Killing a boss is the main thing for me in these types of games, so after the cool feeling you get when beating them, seeing that same boss as a normal enemy that dies in just 5 hits made me lose all that rush I felt 2 minutes ago, only to be replaced with disappointment. If they ever make a sequel to this game, I really hope this won't happen again. The last thing I didn't like was the constant fake items everywhere that I simply couldn't understand how to distinguish them from normal items, and it got really annoying really fast. After finishing the game, I checked YouTube for the solution, and it's actually quite simple, but as I was playing the game I didn't notice, and they pretty much left you with one hit away from dying, and it wasn't fun at all because also there are just so many of them. It's time for my final thoughts, and I honestly think Lords of the Fallen is one of the best Soulslikes out there. It has incredible level design, gorgeous atmosphere, some cool bosses, it's a good challenge, soundtrack is great, and overall the game is a very fun experience that lasted for 30 hours for me, and I can't wait to see what they will do next. Hope you enjoyed watching the video, and as always I see you guys in the next one, which might just be a Lords of the Fallen boss ranking. Stay well everyone.